Talk about backing up accidents in parking lots. This is a very common accident that occurs. Um, I get a call from an insured. They said I've been hit. I say, tell me more. They say I was backing up in a parking space at the mall, and then somebody just hit me. They jumped out of the vehicle, said they were sorry, admitted fault. I think that they were on a cell phone. I think that they were going too fast, although I didn't see them. So I say thank you very much. I do have some questions for you though. So I further deduct from our conversation that our insured got into the vehicle, was about to back up, had to rearrange some packages, and then they backed up, and the other vehicle struck them. I take a look at the scene photographs. I go on Google Maps. I take a look at the layout of the parking lot. I talk to our insured. I say, well, I've taken a look at everything. And as far as the other driver apologizing and admitting fault, they're not licensed claim handlers. They don't understand the negligence laws, as well as they didn't have all the facts at the time that they said that. So it was an excitable utterance. As far as the cell phone, and driving fast, there's no independent witnesses. The police didn't come out. It's not on a report. So as far as I can see, you're at fault for the accident for impeding right of way. You had the greater duty. And this is where people get very upset. So I'm going to show you and explain the accident to you, and hopefully you'll be able to understand it a little bit more. Here is you. The other vehicle comes right here. Okay, you should have a clear sight of him. There's no obstructions. And then you back up right here and you make contact right about there. So this would place you at 100% at fault for not having proper lookout, because you should have been able to see him in your mirrors. And you impeded the right of way, so you had the greater duty, and he didn't have time to stop. Now, if it was something like this, where you were out here, you had backed up, and then he came, hit you, this vehicle would be at fault for not having proper lookout. You are clearly outside the parking space. He had a greater duty to see you, and to let you safely pass. So he was the last best chance to avoid the accident was for him to stop. Something like this. Of course, you're at fault, as you should have proper lookout. And of course, something like this. You should also have proper lookout. So a lot of people think that because they were struck, that the other person's at fault. As you can see, that's not always the case. I take a look at the photographs. I see where the damage is. It's right there. He was in his lane. There's no indication he was driving fast or was distracted. And then you just backed up, and he didn't have time to stop. Things to consider when you are in a parking lot is that there may be kids around. Other vehicles may have lots of people in them. You generally just want to let people move on, or you want to stop and let them maneuver. You always want to be cautious. So when I'm looking at this as a claim handler, I'm looking at a couple different things. I'm looking at negligence. I'm looking at, in your state, is it 1%, bars 100% recovery, like Virginia? Is it California or Arizona, where there's comparable negligence? Is it Georgia or Texas, where 51% or 50% bars? So I'm looking at a couple different things. I'm also looking at exposure, bodily injury. So in parking lots, it's generally low impact, low speeds, the fender bender type of stuff. Of course, I want to make sure everybody's safe. If they're not, there's a good possibility that I can one call settle for a nominal amount. You know, and people do get attorneys. You know, people feel like that they're injured. That's what they need to do, and then I will respond to the attorney appropriately. So that's also what happens. So the best thing to do is just to be safe. Try to get the police report. Try to identify witnesses. Document, and then talk to your claim handler.